Guys, we've got something big here. Wow. Oh, that's a big fish. What's up, people? I'm excited about today, guys. We're heading back to a really productive spot here on Boone Lake, and as usual, I'm fishing from the kayak. We're gonna be chasing things like striped bass, hybrid, smallmouth, largemouth, possibly a brown trout, who knows. Guys, we're gonna be running planer boards today, and we're gonna be pulling some large shiners from Brummett's Bait and Tackle in Hampton, Tennessee. And we're just gonna have ourselves a lot of fun today. It's been a very productive last couple of months out here on the Watauga River flats. The flats is an area where icy cold water from the Watauga River mixes in with that warm water from Boone Lake. And on the right day, it can be a pretty explosive place. So that's where we're headed to see what we can find. Without further ado, wish me luck. Here we go. Tell you what, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get some stuff out because I'm seeing fish getting chased up in these flats. I mean, I don't think it's very deep here, maybe like 3 to 4 feet. Yeah, no, it's a little deeper than I realized. Hang on a second. Let's check the depth. Oh yeah, I mean, it's above 6 foot, so that's deep enough. But guys, what I'm noticing as I'm cruising around here is I've seen a lot of bass chasing down shad, and I'm assuming it's bass. It could be something else too. So let's go ahead and grab some shiners, get them on, and as we're cruising to our spot where I normally start my fishing trip, let's start a little bit earlier this morning, and let's get it started. You know, I'm just reading the water as I'm cruising here, and I'm starting to see a lot of feeding, and there's no reason as we're cruising to our spot that we can't go ahead and get some lines out and begin. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and let out our first line. This is our weightless line. We're gonna let out 50 feet. Okay, right there's good. Let's check our drag. Good, even better. We're gonna start with our left-hand side today, and we're gonna run planer boards. I like to use water bugs. I've been using water bugs for years and years and years, and it is a great planer board for shiners. I've had a lot of success. You guys have seen that, and if you haven't, hopefully today will be a good testament. Here we go. So guys, I'm hooking these shiners right through one nostril and out the other like a nose piercing or nose ring. When I do these planer boards, I pitch it out about 15 to 20 feet, nothing more than that. And guys, whenever I'm working these flats, I always go weightless. I mean, it's just such a shallow area, and there are, you know, hidden trees and bushes, you know, so I just kind of go weightless. And that seems to work out pretty good because if you put any weight on it, there's a decent chance you're just gonna get stuck anyway. And we're gonna try to avoid that if we can. And as you guys can see, the way a planer board works is it's built so that it planes out to the left or the right. This is my left planer board, so as I have forward momentum, it'll keep pushing out to the left, and we're just gonna let out some line until we're happy with the distance from the boat. Good, right there. And you guys can see, look at the way it pulls. It just keeps pushing out to the left, and it's gonna go wider and wider and wider. And what we're doing is we're creating a really nice spread that's gonna be 50 to 60 feet wide behind the boat. One directly behind the boat, one to my left, and then one to my right. And that's why planer boards are so effective, because now I'm covering a lot more water than just a one bait or one lure behind the boat. And that's why I like to use planer boards. In a kayak, however, I don't like to use more than 2, because it does get a little bit chaotic. On a boat you can run a lot more, and that's really fun to do, but on a kayak I only go with 2, because any more than that's just too much chaos for me personally. All right, so we're up and running. So guys, once I get everything out, I just double checked everything's planing correctly, and then I kind of just cruise nice and slow, about 1 mile per hour. I just wait for those bites, so we're gonna see what happens. Hopefully today's another day where we get some good action. You never know, but fingers crossed that we come across maybe some aggressive bass this morning, some hybrid or striper. Anything that's looking for an easy meal and suddenly sees a struggling fish coming through this water. And now I just find myself pivoting my head back and forth, just making sure everything looks good, looking at the rod tips. When I see a rod tip bounce, or if I happen to be looking back and I see the planer board start to bounce, I'll know there's a fish on. Now if it's striper, it'll just rip it backwards, there is no doubt. Whew, that sun is hot. So guys, as I get closer to the bridge, I usually change direction for exactly what just jumped right there. There are largemouth that just stage over here, and it's a pretty amazing bite. So we're gonna change direction. We're going from deep over here. We're changing it up, and we're now gonna start to go a little bit more shallow. And we're gonna see if we can catch a few bass as we pass through here. Oh, fish on, fish on. Nice hit out the back. I'm gonna try to keep some forward momentum here so that we don't, whoa, so we don't lose the other planer boards. Nice bass, guys. Nice bass. Here we go. Right out the back. That was quiet. I did not hear the bite, but it happened. I did not hear that bite. So guys, the hook is out. Guys, the hook is out. Here's our first fish of the day, a bass, and he hit. Heck yeah, guys. All right, so we got a fish on. I'm starting to question if this area still had some bass in it or not, because normally on my first pass I get at least one hit, and I hadn't had any hits, so I was getting a little bit nervous there. It was pretty much as far as I was gonna go too, so that was great timing, because we're just gonna turn it right around and head our way back. Oh, big soft shell turtle just came up right there. I thought for a second there was a log until I realized it was looking at me. Regardless, let's make a couple more passes. That first pass we hooked up on a bass, so let's go right through that flat again. What the heck is it doing? Something's going on that's weird here, guys. Oh, fish on, fish on. That's what's happening. Oh, nice fish. What is that? Guys, we've got something big here. Wow. Oh, that's a big fish. It's a big bass. It's a big bass. Let's get him in. Yeah, nice fish. Guys, I looked back and my planter board went sideways, but it wasn't pulling. It was just acting really different. And sure enough, nice bass right there, guys. Check that guy out. Nice bucket mouth. Love catching these guys. And check this out, guys. He's got a little bit of a black lip there. That's interesting. Yeah, beautiful fish, guys. Let's go ahead and let him go right here. Golly, man. Sometimes you get a little wet. Sometimes you get splashed when you go through here. All right, so that was not your normal bite. That one happened on the turn, and I didn't really see it pull. It just rolled the planer board sideways, and it was acting funny, so I set the hook, and sure enough, there was a fish on. What a strange bite that was. That was a very strange bite. All I'm doing right now is I'm getting ready to change things up. Before I do that, I'm doing kind of a zigzaggy pattern through the bridge, just hitting every column. Oh, there's a fish. There's a fish. Caught one right off of that column right there, guys, doing our figure eights. Oh, golly. Once I got him to the boat, he didn't like that. Whew. Nice bass. I love it when they fight hard like that. Let's get him in the net. Oh, shoot. No, 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 no. There we go, in the net. Guys, these octopus hooks work great for just hooking them right on the lip. I mean, came right out, but it just holds them there. Another bass. Let him go. So that's bass number 3, guys. We're gonna run this left planter board right up against this column, because that seems to be where I'm picking fish off today, is up against the columns. And as we do our zigzag patterns, it seems like more times than not, as that bait back there runs the edge of that column, that's where the bass are picking them up at. So we'll see. We'll see if we get another one. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. I called it. Oh man, he got, you know what? Shoot. So a bass just stole my bait right off of that column. So guys, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna put this rod away. I've got an idea of what we're gonna do here, because I'm picking up a pattern. We've got fish up against the columns. So guys, we're gonna switch it up just a little bit. We're gonna go right back to that column. I don't know that that bass felt me necessarily. He felt some tension, but then he got away with a free meal. So we're just gonna turn around real quick, and we're gonna cast at this column with the bobber. I think there might be 1 or 2 more bass over there. And instead of just passing through and picking one up as we go, I'm gonna specifically plunk this down on the back side, or the right side of this thing, and we'll see what happens. I'm still gonna leave my free line out to swim around and do what he's gonna do. Never hurts to have 2 lines out, but I have a feeling if we throw it up against this column with just a bobber, and look, about 3 feet, 3.5 feet between the bobber and the hook, I bet you we can get into him. Let's see what happens here. I just missed one off of this column. Guys, we've got about 3.5 feet between the bobber and the hook, and we're just throwing it up here against these columns. We just missed a bass right here. We've been picking fish up off of these columns, so it makes sense to try. Oh, there he goes. He got hit. Fish on. Look at that. Oh yeah, that was awesome. Oh man, and another one just ate the, so he spat that bait out and another one ate it right here. So we've got a school of bass up against this column today. Okay, got him. So guys, check it out. Another bass right here. Let's pitch him out behind the boat. Well guys, after catching a handful of bass, I decided to head way up into the river system to see if I could find some cold water species like brown trout or even maybe a striped bass or 2. All right, guys. We're in a very, very interesting zone. We've got water coming in from either a creek or just a part of the river that got split. All right guys, so I have literally gone up like 1.5 miles. I've just been pedaling and pedaling, and I finally got to a spot that looks extra good. I actually saw a couple striper, 1 giant brown on my way up. So I know we've got some fish in the area that are pretty good, but I found a spot here that looks incredibly good for drifting some smaller baits. I actually grabbed some toughies on my way into town, and we're gonna throw them out and drift them here in the current to see if maybe we can catch something on a drift using a bobber. And then we're gonna troll our way all the way back to where we started, because I know we're gonna be covering water where there's big striped bass. I'm gonna park the kayak over here. Man, what a nice shaded spot this is. All right guys, so we got the boat parked. I don't know if you can see the transition here, but it's kind of nice and dark. I like that a lot. Guys, this water is just gin clear. You can see right down to the bottom. My goal is to try to see if I can get this toughie in front of a trout or anything, honestly. Oh, we got a smallie right here, guys. Smallmouth right here, guys. Oh, he sees the bait, guys. He sees the bait. He's going in for it. Let's see if he hits it. He sees it. Oh, he's still thinking about it. So guys, we still got a smallmouth right here. I'm gonna pitch it out weightless and see what happens. We're gonna go with the weightless, bobberless approach to see if the smallmouth likes that approach better. Oh, he got it, guys. He got it. Fish on. I got that smallmouth, guys. Oh yeah, that was cool. Let's go ahead and grab our net. Oh, he's strong. Yeah, got him, guys. That was so cool. Here's that smallmouth. That was really cool catching that guy. Let's go ahead and let him go right here. Whew, and he's out of here. So guys, he swam by me in the shallows and went out to a spot that was just a little bit murky. So I went ahead and tried a bobber. It didn't work. Took the bobber off. Sure enough, thump, he hit it, and fish on. That was really cool. Well guys, after catching that smallmouth bass and cooling off in the shade of those trees, I decided to head back down river in search of some striped bass. Unfortunately, in the heat of the day, I wasn't able to trick any more large fish, but my day was not over. Fish on, guys. Got nailed on this inside board. Let's keep that tension on, see what we got here. Oh yeah, nice. Swing him right into the boat. Nice. Nice largemouth. It's been a while since we've had a bite. I will take it. All right guys, another bass. That was a fun little hit. Let's go ahead and let him go. He's out of here. All right guys, that's gonna do it for me today. I tried my best to see if we could switch things up and try to get a trout or a striper on, but all we got were the warm water fish. Go figure, a very hot day. If you enjoyed this video, you may also enjoy my recent video where I catch a big striper in the kayak, or you may prefer to see me on a different part of the lake. I've got another fun kayak video right here. Till next time, tight lines. 3, 2,